Hi everyone, this is Heba. I am the founder of I Simplify Presentations. Everyone is pitching all the time. Pitching is simply getting an idea across to somebody in a certain amount of time. Parents are pitching to their kids. Teachers are pitching to their students. You are also pitching to your teachers or to your employer or to your boss. You're always trying to convince somebody to do something or to change their mind about something. But there's no one size fits all. There's not a single recipe for delivering a pitch presentation. There are too many moving parts, and I want to help you today to understand these moving parts so you can deliver your best pitch presentation. First of all, put yourself in the mindset that your pitch should always focus on the people you are delivering the presentation to. What you're solving, why you're solving it, why does it matter, and how you're solving it, the different ways you're solving that problem. So let's start with the first thing, which is your message or the what. Your message is what you're trying to focus on, what you're delivering to people, which means that you have to know your idea better than anyone else. Be prepared to pitch no matter how much time you're given, even if it's a matter of an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is a great sales technique that people use to deliver a presentation or a pitch in the matter of an elevator ride. And it's a good way to prepare to present your idea in a pitch presentation. Do not confuse the two. A pitch presentation is different from an elevator pitch, but it should help you prepare for a pitch presentation. So learn to talk about your idea, your solution, and your problem within 30 to 60 or 90 minutes. Make it memorable, interesting, and very brief. And now, your audience, or so what? To figure out the right thing to do or the right thing to say, you really have to learn about your audience. Your committee or your jury or your investors, if you're pitching to investors, you should know about their interests. You should know about what is it that they like to talk about so you can find common ground. In other words, know your customer. Get yourself in the mindset that it's not about you. It's not about your big idea. It's always about the audience. And that's what makes most pitch presentations successful. Now, finally, your slides, or what we call now what. Your pitch presentation can come in different forms, but it usually is a set of slides plus your delivery. And in that case, you need to be prepared to have the basic set of slides that every audience is looking for when you're pitching an idea. And I'm going to start in the order of how I think they should appear in your presentation. The first one is an overview. Explain at a very high level what it is that you are pitching. Do not go into the details. Maybe start with the bottom line on top. Maybe start with something shocking. Start with something interesting. Start with something that is an attention grabber. Then state exactly what the problem is. And then state exactly where the opportunity is and why it matters. And then state exactly what the solution is. But remember that you need to take people on a journey from where the problem started, why it matters, and how the idea came up to solve it. Now, there are other slides that are very important for people to add in their pitch presentation. The first one is your market. What's the size of your market? What's the maturity of your market? What's the readiness of your market? And then your competition. How are you different from the competition? And what is the value that you're bringing that your competition isn't? And then the last thing, and I think of it is one of the most important slides for any pitch presentation, is your team. When you are pitching to an investor, for example, they are really not investing in the idea only. They're investing in you. And they need to know that you have a great team to make this idea a success. The idea might be successful or it might fail, but they have to know that you can bounce back. So show people that you have the right human skills for them to invest in you and to accept your idea. Now, there is a tricky part in any pitch presentation, and I know everybody's dreading it all the time, which is questions. People will ask you questions when you are pitching to them. I think of questions as an opportunity because it indicates people's interest in your idea and your work. It also indicates the parts of your pitch presentation that they are most interested in. So let's say you've learned about your audience, and then you realize that they like to talk about the market. So you framed your presentation around market research and how the market is behaving to or responding to your idea. But then in the middle of the presentation, they ask you questions about the competition, and they're really interested about knowing about the competition. You can use that as an opportunity to steer the conversation towards talking about competition instead of market. So you have to be agile. You have to be able to change and steer the conversation towards the direction of the questions. Sometimes you, like they say, you might have to ditch the pitch and then just go with the flow, depending on how prepared you are to talk about other things. And like I said in the beginning, how well you know your idea. And then if there's one thing that I really want to leave you with, and one thing I learned about pitch presentations is speaking with conviction. If you have the passion and if you are really invested in your idea, always, always, always speak with conviction. Always speak with passion about it, because people usually invest in people. And you also have to be invested in your idea for people to invest in you. Before you go on stage, find smaller stages to present your idea. The most seasoned stand-up comedians, they find smaller bars and smaller stages to test how their jokes will land on different kinds of audience. And I think that's a great way to practice your pitch presentation. And finally, always remember that your pitch presentation is never about you. It is always about your audience. Thank you.